What's going on, guys? Duelum here, back again with another video. And today I wanted to talk about the top 5 quality of life changes that Scopely should make in 2024. This top 5 is going to be in no particular order, and it's going to be some random things that not a lot of people talk about too much, but I feel like would make a great change to the game. So if you're ready, let's get into it. First up, we're looking at the supply store. The supply store I feel like needs an overhaul, and not when it comes to gear, but when it comes to the character shards that are on your screen. I feel like using 450 cores to get 5 character shards is not something really anybody does after the first couple months of playing because they realize how expensive that really is. The way I feel like they can integrate this and change this for a good quality of life improvement is going to be making this the actual character orb that they're featured in when they first get released monetarily. So if you have a chance to get in between 6 and 180 orbs, I feel like more people would want to spend their cores on these orbs just because you have that better chance of getting up to 180 and hitting that jackpot. And at least you'd get 6, which is better than the 5 that they have right now. I'm not saying the cost still has to be 450, maybe 500, but no way should it be 675 as the usual is because it's an older tune and it's not the first release. But I think this is the first quality of life improvement that would greatly enhance the game and would help people expand and enhance their roster a little bit faster. For the next quality of life improvement I think Scopely should look into is going to be changing the actual milestones for the raid season. As you can see here, we get some raid orbs, which are at best, unless there's a new character that gets put in, and then we open all of them, and then we go back to hoarding. You get a lot of blue gear to begin with, but even all the way at the end at milestone 45, the best we get is gear 16 orbs. And not even a full gear 16 orb. It's 3/4 of it. Why? Why are we not getting gear 17, gear 18 from places like this other than just on the leaderboard? This should be something that every player should have access to as long as they're getting to the max score. Now, what I'm saying is you can also up the max score because people are getting 3, 4, or 5 times the amount of the max milestone nowadays when you're doing the hardest raids. So why not double the milestones and double the max score you need to get better rewards such as G18, T4s, and other goodies that people are looking for in their account. For the third quality of life improvement that Scopely needs to look at is going to be the season rewards for Cosmic Crucible. Now, these did get changed recently with the addition of Dark Diamond credits, which I think is great. We're going to need these on the Horseman tunes that we have at max 7 red stars. Also Apocalypse, and now that Super Scroll has been announced for red stars, these are going to be useful to get diamonds on those really important characters. The problem I have with this is the seasons usually run about 80 to 90 days, which is almost 3 months. It's usually about 13 weeks. And you only get 1.3 million gold. Now, this is just a drop in the bucket, and this should be 10 times the amount, probably 20 times the amount, because if you think about it, every 2 weeks for war, we get 10 times this amount if you're in the top 1% of war, which is going to be roughly around 13 or 14 million. When it comes to this currency, I believe this should also be bumped up a decent amount because 25,000 does not open that many orbs. I think it opens around 17 orbs because they're 1,400 fragments per orb. So these rewards need to be overhauled. These 3 here, you need a lot more if it's going to be an 80 to 90 day season to make it worth it for us waiting that long. Because when we get this payout, we're not even looking at anything. All we see is the Dark Diamond credits and then the gold. We don't even notice it go into our account. And this should change. For the fourth quality of life improvement Scopely should look into is making premium orbs really premium again. Because as of right now, you can see here, there's 230 characters in the premium orb. Now, I understand premium orbs have turned into a pretty much an early game orb for a lot of players to get a lot of the tunes that aren't farmable in other ways, and this is a way for them to be able to unlock them or get lucky and unlock some new characters like Darkhawk early. But I think Scopely should come out with a premium orb 2 for veteran players, just like they did for the legacy orbs. The Premium Orb 2 can have the 60 or 90 newest characters in there, since the Mega Orb has the 30 newest characters. And then the Premium 1 Orb can continue that and have the other characters that are older than the newest 90 or newest 60. This would make it so premium orbs are actually useful, and it's something that we look forward to opening, and not just hoping for a 0.42% chance of getting a character that we actually want from them. For the fifth and final quality of life improvement that I'd like to see implemented in 2024 is going to be regarding Arena. more so the fact of slingshotting. For those of you who don't know who slingshotting is, I'm going to give you a brief description. If I'm attacking number 2, I start my attack, and number 2 is also attacking number 1. If number 2 beats number 1 while I'm still in my attack for against number 2, if I then beat number 2 after he's beaten number 1, I will move to number 1, and the guy who was in number 2, who should be in number 1 because he beat number 1, moves down to number 3. That's right. That's what slingshotting is. And I've seen this go from I'm attacking number 1, I finish, and just before the last second, I'm at number 22. And this affects one of the biggest and most important currencies in the game when it comes to power cores. So Scopely has 2 options. Either you fix this problem, you make it so whoever won, or even if you won after the person who won before you both get the top rewards, or they just take out power cores completely from Arena and put it somewhere else. Because unfortunately, this is a very unfair system that not a lot of players understand. And I see this question almost daily in my streams and other streams around the community, and it needs to stop. There needs to be a solution. This has been a problem for 4-5 years now, and people have kept complaining about it, and Scopely has swept it under the rug. It's time for this problem to be solved so that we can make sure we're getting power cores in an efficient and a way that we actually know how it works, and we're not getting screwed over by a system that is antiquated and needs to be fixed. That's going to be my top 5 list of quality of life improvements that Scopely should implement in 2024. If you think I missed one, leave a comment down below. If you have an idea on how to fix some problems that I presented, also leave a comment down below. But until next time, this has been Duelim. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Later, y'all.